Yeah, the news that rocked the nation from yours truly, Law Nation. Let's go. No intro is needed. I thank everybody for jumping in for this episode. This is the thing. The Cowboys done figured it out and said, you know what? We tired. We tired of this. And they went on ahead and signed DeMarcus Lawrence to a big contract. They read him up basically. So the re-up was due. And instead of cutting the man, they extended the man, gave him more and more money and more opportunities. So I thought I read it wrong initially. I thought I did. Let me know if you guys can hear me. The name is Law Nation. I thought I read it wrong. I thought that this was a situation where they released DeMarcus Lawrence and they fool around and said to themselves, okay, we gonna sign Randy Gregory. But that didn't happen. The situation was and is that the Cowboys decided to sign good old DeMarcus Lawrence for more and more money. And this money is detailing to be one of the biggest and the longest contracts in Cowboys history as it relates to such of him being, dare I say, a Cowboys for the lifeline of his career or tenured here for the Cowboys. And the guaranteed money is pretty much a $40 million deal. And I'm going to pull it up right here. Appreciate everybody for jumping in. It's pretty much that. And let's see, pull it up. Let's pull it up right here. Cowboys defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence has agreed to a new 3-year deal with $30 million fully guaranteed. Sources said that this is believed to make him the NFL first defensive end to have his contract fully guaranteed, and the rest is cut off, but the rest of it was for 7 years. That's a long time, Cowboy Nation. That's a long time for us to do that. Is it restructured? Yeah, yes, it is a deal that's restructured, and I will have to wait, and we will have to ask around to everyone. We have to ask around, is this a situation in a scenario that you say to yourself, by doing such, how much will this count against the cap? How much will this help the cap? Because as far as I know, his initial cap was $27 million. So by the Cowboys doing this helps out. This help out tremendously. They can't speak the cap hit out. Yeah. So that's what it is. So we would know for sure. And I'll give you guys detailings of that situation as well as time progressed on this contract. Now, all right, here we go. According to information from Michael Gelkin, we got some more information. I appreciate you guys for jumping in. Let's go. Michael Gelkin just tweeted out. Let's go. Cowboys defensive end will now count $14 million against the cap. So for the 2022, so that's a big difference. That is a major and a huge difference because now you're going from $27 to $20 million or so, all the way down to $14 million for the 2022 season, which that is tremendous. That is tremendous savings. So what they're going to do with this? I always tell people with these contracts, the salary cap is a myth, right? The salary cap is a situation. Look, literally, the Cowboys got enough money. Let me just stop what I'm saying. The Cowboys got enough money right now if they want to. They got enough money to sign Randy Gregory. Also, they got enough money to go out there and get Bobby Wagner. They got enough money. They flat out got enough money, Cowboy Nation. Shout out to J. Lombardi. So the money shouldn't be the issue. This shouldn't be the issue at all. Bobby Wagner, here we come. Who y'all want? My guy Pete said, look, Law, let's go get Randy. So his Rue Glock. So no excuse, Law. I mean, y'all heard me the other day. I was saying like, hey, you got to figure out a way to keep DeMarcus Lawrence because what I don't want, and I'm kind of selfish in this, I definitely do not want Michael Parsons to play only on the edge. I want Michael Parsons to play everywhere. I really do. I want him to play everywhere. But if you remove D-Law and you don't re-sign Randy Gregory, now you're rolling out Chauncey Golston, right? Now you're rolling out who else we have on that edge? We don't even know. So definitely. Somebody says Zadarius Smith, he won 14 million. And I believe like what was reported from KD Drummond earlier this day was the Cowboys pretty much like to re-up their own, and Michael Gelkin also reported some similar things. And just like if we look back at all of our contracts of what we do, let me see what we can do right here. Here we go. If we look at all our contracts, what we do, we tend to do those things of signing our own guys first. And let me see what we have here. Y'all bear with me. This deal will help. Let me put it out right here. Appreciate y'all for jumping in. Thank everybody for being part. Be sure to hit that like button, share this content. Here you go. It says Cowboys began the day with their left defensive end and running back counting a combined of $45.2 million against the cap. This makes the team building difficult, but DeMarcus Lawrence reworked his deal will absolutely help. Now, we have another issue that's a part of this thing. What's the other issue, Law? What's the other issue? By us reworking the deal, that's cool. I like it. We can go into the draft with a clear mind now and saying, okay, we got a guy that's good against the run, or great against the run. But how do this work for the situation that they're going through with La'el Collins? And is it such that La'el Collins is not willing to do something? And that's the reason why they saying, okay, we'll trade you or cut you, right? And this is only speculation for the nation. And the other piece of this situation too, we got Jaron Kearse, who removed all of the Cowboys information from his Instagram and as well as his Twitter page. And we can only read into that. And then we have a big hole, shoes that need to be filled in for DeMonte KZ and Malik Hooker. So we going into this draft looking at those holes to fill. Safeties, linebackers. We got to fill that. We got to plug that in. Law Nation Sports, appreciate you, Simmons. What's good? With the new deal, what is our current salary cap number? No need to fear. Law is here. Let me see if I can pull this up. No need to fear. Law is here. Let me see if I can pull it up. Sometimes they not on the money as quick with it, but we'll find out with it. Appreciate everybody for jumping in. Over to cap.com. We'll check it out right now as we speak. Let's pull it up. Sometimes they're a little slow with the draw. I'm looking it up right now. $15 million, according to over to cap.com. Let's see if we can share this information. They got them at 15. Appreciate you, Maul. Appreciate you. Thank you for becoming a YouTube member. So that's the situation there. Hold on, bear with me. Let me see if I can pull this one up. Sharing is caring. We're going to pull up the share screen. We're going to pull this one up right quick. All right, so can you guys let me know if you can see that? All right, so according to this information here, we will looking at 15 million. 15.4. And this is not everything calculated because I'm quite sure that they're going to update this chart. And this is from overthecap.com. Overthecap.com. So we're looking at right at 15 million. Who else was in our neck close to us? 2.4 million for the Vikings, 3 million. They still over 6 million. The Chiefs are still over. 49ers, Packers, 18 million, and the Rams, $22 million over. So the Cowboys still at 15. Let me see if we can go into more details with the Cowboys and see how all of this stuff works out. Because I don't think that they got the information that quick up yet. See, they don't have it up there yet. They still have the cap number at 27. So once all of this stuff update, we'll have the true and raw numbers of everything. So DeMarcus Lawrence, by him restructuring his contract and pushing it back, getting $30 million guaranteed, this is pretty much a good move for us now because of the cap hit, because now we could take some of that money and apply it elsewhere. Ronald says we pretty much should be 30 million under. Yeah, so this is what I want us to do now. This is what I want us to do. We can focus in on Bobby. We can flat out focus in on Bobby. Or we can wait. There's two things that we can do. We can play the long game or we can go short. And what I'm looking at, who do you guys want? Do you want Bobby versus Randy? Would you think that this team would be better with a Randy Gregory or Bobby? Because if we focus on, we're not getting Wagner. We want Randy. Okay. We want Randy. I see a lot of Randys. Okay. Everybody saying Randy. Go get Adams. No, don't leave Adams where he at. All right. So I see a lot of people saying Randy. I'm going to see how many Bobbies. Okay. Jarvis Landry, this is from Muhammad. Both. We do have enough money to get both, by the way. Somebody said Von Miller. That's a long tooth. So is Bobby's tooth. It's a long tooth as well. But I'm looking at it like, man, I'm greedy, man. I'm really greedy. I really want a situation and scenario that I'm looking at it like, okay, the Cowboys got a lot of money now. We can push some things to the side and say, okay, if you want familiarity, you bring in Randy Gregory, right? You shore that up for a long-term contract, maybe 3 years. Give him a deal. Give him a deal that's cheap enough, but respectful enough so he won't be rubbernecking elsewhere, because his agent, they've been knocking on the doors all this week. Well, all today and last week probably. And the only team allegedly showed interest, Denver Broncos, the only team. Somebody said curse Bobby Randy. This is Robert. Says curse Bobby Randy. Honey Badger pretty much going to go to the Raiders. He pretty much going to the Raiders. Okay, so if we work on those three, and then when we hit the draft, we say, okay, now, even though I'm drafting BPA regardless, because we're going to have to fill in that left guard spot because Connor Williams, if we hear news of these two things right now, how would you guys sound? Breaking news out of Frisco, Texas. The Cowboys have re-upped Leighton Vander Esch to a 3-year contract. And also within that context of this important news, we also hear news that the Cowboys also re-upped Connor Williams to a 3-year deal. What would you guys say about that? You know, that and that's tend to be in the situation for the Cowboys. If not, the Cowboys still need to fill that plug spot for LVE because it's a voided spot, and probably bring back a situation for Keanu Neal. And if not, the Cowboys still going to have to fill that role or that voided spot for the left guard, Connor Williams. Somebody said, y'all said, no, I don't want that world. I don't want that reality. But that's how it can be. It can be just like that. Oh, man, Simmons said thumb down on that one. Hell no. I see a lot of people. It is what it is. Steven says, please sell the team. Shout out to you, Johnson. Jerry, don't leave your legacy in Steven's hands. Love you for what you do, Law. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, man. That goes a long way, man. I really appreciate you. We're gonna have to fill that spot, that voided area. We lost with Randy Gregory. Costly penalties and playoffs. Wagner's. He's Team Wagner, Dallas. So I don't know, but I still have high hopes for good old Randy Gregory. And if you can get him for cheap, I think that Randy Gregory is better than Dorrance Armstrong. Better than the Chauncey Golston. I think Randy Gregory is a better option than that. We can scoop up Bobby Wagner by now. We can. We will know by Wednesday whether or not they're going to do something with Bobby. But the news and the information right now is all on this guy right here. All right, Randy Gregory, who we already discussed. This right here, let me pull it up once again. Who's saving us big money? Cowboys DeMarcus Lawrence will now count $14 million against the cap for 2022. Chuck, appreciate you for the donation, man. Why couldn't we keep Wilson? His contract wasn't all that much. Well, this is the thing. The Cowboys did. Now, we will get something back in return. We will get something back in return next season. I believe either a third or maybe a fourth round draft pick far as compensatory, and those picks are tradable. The craziest thing of it all, Chuck, we would get more back from Cedrick Wilson than we got back from Amari Cooper if Cedrick Wilson go out there and ball, because we lost him to free agency, and the Cowboys finally did a philosophy that I pretty much will say to you guys, although we can frown upon the Cedrick Wilson situation, but I can tell you, my friend Chuck, that letting these guys test the market is not that bad. It's not that bad. And what Cedrick Wilson did, he said, okay, these are the terms. 3-year, $22 million, 12, I think it's like 12 APY, right? Something like that. Shoot, let me see what the APY, it can be 12. It can't be 12. They don't equal, right? Whatever the APY is, it is right here. I had it earlier. Y'all put it down in the chat. Well, regardless of it, the Cowboys are looking at this thing saying, okay, we lost him. The Cowboys had a chance to counter. His agent could have said, hey, Dallas is getting rid. Dallas, pick up the phone. The Dolphins are willing to pay this. And the Cowboys said, no, we got D-Law deal on the table. Media, what's good, man? It's tough being a Cowboy fan these days. This team is too cheap. We do not have enough players on the roster. Who are you using to winning? Who are you using to winning? We don't know. We don't know. We do know this one thing, though. As the Cowboy fans with expectations are low, shoot. We knock it out of the building. Let me know if I'm lying. When the expectations low, Let me say this. Going into 2014, we lost who we lost. Somebody got injured. I think it was Sean Lee or something like that. And it happened right before the start of the season. Everybody was saying, like, man, we can't lose Lee. Man, we ain't gonna be able to do nothing on defense. They changed philosophy. We end up going to the playoff. And of course, we didn't do anything in the playoff that was really worth our while outside of beating the Detroit Lions. But when expectations low, we do things, man. In 2016, expectations were low. You lost your quarterback. You had an unknown of Dak Prescott. We won some games. That's the only I'm trying my best to pull out the positivity. And just last season, look, the craziest thing was last season, everybody said that this team would not make it to the playoffs. This team would be right above 500. We end up being 12-5, going all the way to the playoff. But first, of course, it was first ticket out of the playoff. Sign Gregory, go sign May from the Jets, I guess. Andrew Noel at left guard, Hitchens at linebacker. Then go into the draft, go draft the wide receiver. Somebody mentioned earlier Juju Smith-Schuster. Somebody also mentioned Jarvis Landry. We looking at this thing, regardless of how we can look into the draft and say if we draft a wide receiver, there will still be A, growing pains, B, the expectations may be set too high depending on which round we go draft said wide receiver. So, yes, the Cowboys should bring in a veteran wide receiver. Why? Because you got CeeDee Lamb right now and Simi Fehoko as your outside guys. Maybe you can slide in Simi as the inside guy. But that's essentially what our wide receiving core look like right now, and Noah Brown. Gallup would not be ready week 1. If you bring in Jarvis Landry, if the price is right, he'll immediately be your slot wide receiver. And you still have Lamb on the outside. And in occasions, you can move Lamb inside and out. And you don't have to worry about pressing Simi Fehoko or TJ Vasher or Noah Brown. Any real one text in the draft? Yeah, I go, I think I don't know any one text that out there that I really would say outside of picking up Carlos Watkins, bringing him back for another cup of coffee. That's what I would do. And then I would go draft Jordan Davis or somebody like that. That's what I would do. Thank you, everybody, for jumping in. Go right here. Big King 29 leaders in that wide receiver room. Malik Turner, he's a free agent, guys. He's on the market. The Cowboys have not picked him up. Let me say this right quick. Leaders in that wide receiver room. Y'all know my saying when I say this. And it's nothing to throw shade or salt at the wide receivers that we got right now. But a new broom can sweep the floor good. But that old broom knows the corners. CeeDee Lamb cannot talk to you guys and say, hey, this is what I know going up against the number 1 DB. This is what I know for sure, having the safety over the top to roll and shade and get coverage over on top of me. He cannot explain that to everyone that's on this team. So, unfortunately, the person with the most experience now, as we talk about wide receiver cores, because tight ends are lumped into that, will be Dalton Schultz. He will be your quote-unquote leader on the receiving core team, because all of them receivers. Now, I'm gonna shoot it to you straight and tell you guys this right now. tell you guys this right now. That CeeDee Lamb can grow into that leader. He can grow, but it's going to be a situation where we have to wait and see. But we don't know him as CeeDee Lamb going up against the Wands. Appreciate you for that information. Xavier Woods signed a 3 years deal pretty much with the Panthers. Appreciate you that. Leon says AB is a real possibility. It sounds, hey, he did say on the Pivot podcast he got to wait till his ankle go through his ankle surgery, and then he will be ready to shop around. He's going to ask his agent to go and find him a team. But I don't think that team would be the Cowboys. $40 million and $30 million guaranteed for Law. Yes, Rodriguez. Yes. Yes, indeed. AB or Allen Robinson. Allen Robinson wants the sun and the moon. He do. I think he outpriced himself for the Cowboys. I think he outpriced himself for the Cowboys. We're sitting at 28. Is it 28.5 million? So the moment, because the cap can't go down even more the moment we give the long-term contract to Schultz, right? Because 10 is counting against the cap right now because of the franchise tag. There's no way to prorate that. There's no way to squeeze that money back. So what I'm waiting on, the next news would be, and I hopefully it happened before Wednesday, will be the news that hit for breaking news out of Cowboys front office. The Cowboys have agreed to signing Dalton Schultz to a long-term contract, which would also take money away off the cap and give us more cap space and wiggle room to sign other players for a long-term contract. That can flat out happen. Yeah, I don't see any more up-to-date news on this altogether, Cowboy Nation. Let me see if we got anything else. Look at the 2A plus drafts. Let me see. Hold on. Y'all bear with me. DeMarcus Lawrence is talking mad cash money on his socials. Y'all follow his socials, man. Y'all follow DeMarcus Lawrence socials, man. He's talking mad cash money. Appreciate everybody for jumping in. The name is Law Nation. Still pulling up information. I don't see any more information on this. But here's what they got so far. Let me pull this up right quick. Bear with me. Come on. You bear with me. Hail Mary. Banner time. There we go. Amari Cooper traded. Browns. Wide receiver Michael Gallup resigned. Cedrick Wilson, Miami. Of course, we released Greg Zuerlein, and of course, we released Blake Jarwin. So that also means this right here, Cowboy Nation. I forgot all about this. The doggone Cowboys need a kicker. Shout out to you, Iceberg Q. I forgot the Cowboys need a kicker, you know? We're going to go to the draft and draft a kicker. Schultz did us great. He is a heads-up player. I'm fine with the trustworthy tight end. This is from my guy, Stephen White. Yep. We need to find us a kicker, real talk. We do. We do need to find us a kicker. All right. So I got about a good 10 minutes left in the show, man. I really appreciate you guys for being part of this one. All right. So what you guys seeing here is I post a link, and we're going to make it quick. Whatever thoughts you have on your mind, just jump in. and you can be a part of the show. You can be a part of the show. For those who are out there that's on my Facebook page, the link is on my YouTube page. You should see it floating around on the description box or somewhere in the comments. But I pinned it to the top of the page. Jump on there and you're a part of the show. Nah, Chris Boniol is long and gone, baby. Shout out to you, Cedrick, man. Thank you, man. Hey, did you get the thing that came in the mail? Let me know. Appreciate you. How does this deal affect the cap? Well, let me explain this again for all of those who's out here that's listening. When you sign a player to a long-term contract, you can prorate the money, and by this being an extension of the contract, you can appropriate some of the cap money and say, okay, this percentage goes to the cap, and the next flow of the money, depending on the language of the contract, you can have the rest to be put on the 2023's salary. So that's what they do. DK Metcalf is a possibility. I feel you. All right, let me see who we got here. You're in camera, man. What's good, man? Talk to me.
How you doing? I ain't catch the beginning of this. I just seen the DeMarcus Lawrence 3-year thing. That's true?
Right. That's true. He read up, and pretty much it's a $30 million guaranteed. And with that $30 million being guaranteed, they now spread it out for 3 years, and that kind of helped the cap out.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. What else you got for this show, man?
How do you think we're gonna do with us losing Amari Cooper and not having the true number one receiver no more?
I think that they're going receiver by committee. And I know we got a lot of people fighting that and saying that it's not receiver by committee. All you got to do is look at the targets.
Yeah.
That's simple math. Just look at the targets. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What else you got? What's your name, man? How you say that? What's that? JK?
Is my name's Jakor, but I put J Core. Yeah. My dad named me after Tupac.
Okay. It's like pleasure and pain. We stuck in this game, all of my name. I thought you were gonna come up in here with all of that, you know. Shakur or Jakor.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, man.
Alrighty.
Thank you for calling that. All right, so we got AP21, man. Get in camera, man. What's good with you, fam?
Oh snap! What's the deal, boss? How you doing, man?
Dog, it's all good, man. Talk to me, man.
Okay, man. My first thing, I know everybody's chilling about the Amari Cooper. I was hurt when it happened, but my thing is, can we get the run game going again? Is the run game gonna be the same with LC leaving? You got Terrence still sliding over there.
I mean,
you think Tyler Biadasz is cool at center, or would you draft another center?
Well, Tyler Biadasz, he's going into his third year now. We don't know. All off season, he can get his lower body stronger. That's the only thing we can wait on, right? Sure. We can wait on his lower body get stronger and go through the whole program. And our biggest hope would be for Tyler Biadasz to have that turnaround like Terrence Steele. But from my mindset and my knowledge of it, if Tyler Linderbaum is there, you're going to have to squeeze the trigger and go ahead and pull that one. If he's there, if he's the best player available on the board, you pull the trigger and get that dude, man.
Right. You grab him.
You grab him, yeah. BPA, and say, well, Tyler Biadasz, you be good. You be good for depths.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And I say sign Randy. If we can get Bobby, hey man, it'd be just like how CD fell in our laps in the draft.
Yeah, I mean, if we can get Bobby, that would help. Yeah. Go ahead.
I don't have faith in LVE.
Yeah, but do the front office do? That's the only thing, though, fam. And the front office is looking at it like how they can save money. And one thing they don't want to do is admit that they made a mistake, right? Drafting a linebacker in the first round, and he's not living up to his expectations. They're going to lean on the fact that can we get coaching to elevate him? And one thing, I'm not trying to be an LVE apologist, but he was one of the players that showed up in that 49ers game. He was one of those guys.
Yeah.
but I appreciate you, AP, man.
He was just one.
Appreciate you, man. This is a good guy, man.
Shop.
Yeah,
Nah.
what up, bro?
Nothing to it, man. Talk to me, man.
Hey, man, I seen a thing while you were doing when you first started the show.
Right.
1053 was posted something on YouTube about talking about DeMarcus Lawrence's contract. So you might want to check that out. Just letting you know. I don't know if you saw it, but it's up as far as I know.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna check it in. What you
got? But I just wanted to say that I'm happy with the way things turned out with DeMarcus Lawrence because that, like you said, that helps out with the cap.
Right.
And that gives us some ideas for like maybe free agency, like maybe keeping Randy Gregory and maybe signing a Bobby Wagner's in case we don't go linebacker until the third round. Because I'm thinking it's going to be one or two things. Like I told you last time I talked to you, it's either going to be offensive line first, if there's one there that they want. And if one of them that they truly want the most is not there, they're going to go wide receiver, especially if Traylon Burks is sitting there, especially if you get Sky Moore that's sitting there, especially if you get Chris Olave that's sitting there, or if you got Garrett Wilson, you get lucky and get Garrett Wilson, and because you didn't think Lamb was going to get to you either. And look what we ended up with.
Right. Sometimes you get players to fall.
Not just that.
We got to echo.
You got to think.
We got to call back, man.
Yeah.
We got to echo. Man, that was killing me there, Shop, man. Call back in. All right, so Coach Marv, man. Got a few more minutes here. Coach Marv, talk to me, man.
Hey, what's going on, Law? This what I think is going to be right quick. What I think is going to happen. If they sign Bobby Wagner, yes, they will go offensive line in the first round of the draft.
Right.
I want them to sign Gregory. I want them to sign, and I do want them to sign Bobby Wagner. You got to understand that Dan Quinn still got a lot of pull here, and he loved D-Law. That's why D-Law wasn't going nowhere. And he loved Randy Gregory. That's why he's not going anywhere. And I think he loves Curse, and I know Curse is not going with. They're going to give Dan Quinn those pieces that he want. And they may not address the safeties, one of our safeties, Hooker and them. I think they're gonna let that ride to the end to see who's left out there. That maybe they can get into the safety position. But I think they're gonna try to solidify this defense with these three guys: Wagner, Gregory, and Curse. And then I think they're gonna really try to load up maybe with a wide receiver and tight end and some things in the draft for the offense. I think they want to go younger with the offense, and they're gonna try to get some pieces there. But I think they do not want to lose the ground that they have made up with this defense, and I don't think they should, because I think this defense together next year, one more year with a full defense together under Dan Quinn, we're gonna see this defense get even better than it was last year. But we just need that linebacker help. Do not bring LVE back for no reason.
Yeah, I already know, Coach, how you feel about LVE.
Let's see what the market bring him. I guarantee you. Let's see what the market bring. Let's see what the market bring LVE. Then we'll see.
Oh my God. Yeah, I already know, Coach. LVE gonna come back with his tail in between his legs. He ain't gonna be. He ain't gonna be doing it. He gonna come back on all fours, and the Cowboys might still pick.
Well, I would say one other thing right quick, Law. We should have let Dalton Schultz see what the fear. I seen some of the better tight ends out there signed for like $8 million, 3 years,
Right.
24 million. So I don't think Dalton Schultz is gonna get no 12 or 13 million on the market. So when you put out that $10 million in franchise tag, that's the starting point. Is APR $10 million? That's the starting point.
But you know what, Coach? They still got a chance to rescind it.
You know, that's what I would do. I would offer him a contract that's gonna get him in line with the free agents that have signed, and that might be $8 million APR or 7. And if you don't want to take it, we'll rescind it, and then we'll let you see what you can find.
No doubt, man. You spitting truth, man. But appreciate you, Coach.
All right, Law. Take it easy, man.
All right. Yeah, that's good, Coach, man. I'm trying to get this show going and popping, man, at least for an hour. But I got something that I got to take care of at the top of the hour here, so I got to roll. All right, so we got next person up here, man. What's good, man?
What's up, man?
Nothing to it, fam. Talk to me, man.
Man, my biggest thing is I know we signed tight end Dalton Schultz, but if you go back and look at his run pass block, you know what I'm saying, against the run or whatever, it's terrible. And he was a big part of it. And I know he's a good wide receiver, but I honestly I think we could have found better in the draft with tight end.
Who you like? You like Ferguson?
I like Ferguson. Yeah.
Who's your top guy? Who's your top guy? Because I like that Ruckert kid from Ohio State. But who's your top guy?
Well, tell you honestly, I really don't even have a top guy. I just know we probably could have found better in the draft than signing tight end Dalton Schultz. You know, and I just wonder by us we signed him is our run game gonna get better? Because he was a big part of that run game too.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I mean,
facts.
You spitting at me, man. I should have had my umbrella.
Oh, my bad.
No, you good. You're good.
No,
that's good truth. What has you got for the show, man?
Well, the last thing I'm hurt that Mark Cooper gone, man. I got me a Mark Cooper jersey. Now I gotta. I'm gonna still rock with him. So I gotta go get me a Browns jersey.
Man, don't wear that, man. Don't.
But one more thing. Could we have did a wide receiver for a wide receiver trade with Cooper and Landry if they were gonna already let Landry go?
I wouldn't want Landry's. I think Landry contract would have been just
too much.
Yeah.
You think so?
But by Landry being on the streets now, he's a free agent.
Yeah.
The Cowboys can lowball him and see whether or not that's something that he wants to do.
Yeah.
They can lowball him and say, hey, if you got to sell him too, and say, Landry, if you come over here, you'll be the
number one.
Not the number one. You'll be the veteran receiver here. You'll be the one with the most experience.
But I honestly don't think CeeDee Lamb ready to be a number one. I'm just being honest. I don't think bro ready to be a number one. He's better as a slot receiver, a receiver that's moving around across the board.
I like Lamb all over the field as far as being ready to be a number one. You know how to swim? What's your name? Bando?
Yeah, Bando. Yeah, I know how to swim a little bit.
You know how to swim. When did you realize when you realized you knew how to swim?
See, when I was young, you know what I'm saying? Probably what, five or six.
You couldn't. I can show you a book all day, man. This is how you swim. You go like this, you go like that, you know, and then you can read the book all day, and I can tell you about it. But until you get in that water, man, that's when you knew, like, damn, I can back pedal, swim under the water and everything now.
You got to also think about it, too, though. Would they do CeeDee Lamb like they did Cooper? If he become my number one wide receiver, would they do CeeDee Lamb like they did Cooper?
Put it like this. I'm going to tell you, there's no number one in this offense because there's no main person that they're going to target. In the way and the kind of caliber of quarterback that you got, he's not going to force feed it to one person.
Yeah.
He's not going to have his only bread and butter for the team in the last couple of years, like when everything goes from sugar to, you know what, it's been the tight end and also it been the running back, the dump off. So if this team want to see things grow a little bit better, find a scat back, a running back that can catch out of the backfield.
I mean, we got two of them. We got two of them, but we ain't got nobody to block.
There you go. You answer your own question, but appreciate you, man. Bando. I like that name, man. Bando, baby. All right, Jones, what's good, man? You live. Unmute yourself.
First, I got a couple things I wanted to say. First thing I wanted to say is,
Go ahead.
Amari Cooper needed to go. He was good when we needed him. We didn't have a receiver. We had let go of Dez. He was good for that, but he's not worth $20 million. Now, if DeMarcus Lawrence would have left, I promise you the window would have been closed. Now, because DeMarcus Lawrence is a dinosaur amongst men. That's what I like to say about him. He is a run stopper. He's young. This is going to be the best DeMarcus Lawrence we had. Now, I understand people talk about Micah Parsons and all that.
Right.
The reason that they're able to do all that is because DeMarcus Lawrence is drawing double and triple teams every time, man.
Right.
He can get you 14 sacks and he can stop the run all day. He really can. Now, another thing I want to say, it might shake up some feathers.
Okay.
Now, I'm already looking at next year. But what I think the Cowboys should do right now is always you keep Zeke. You keep Zeke. Zeke is going to go back to he had some off the field troubles. You know what I mean, when he first came into the league. So that kind of but last year when the quarterback was hurt, Zeke showed you he can get the job done when he needed to in a major way. He's still I think he can go back to that running back he used to be. The only way this team is going to progress is if they get rid of Dak Prescott. I don't think he's the one, bro. You got Deshaun Watson. You got Deshaun Watson out here. You got Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, man, hold on, wait a minute. You know?
I mean, next year.
I'm rolling with you, Jay. I'm rolling with you, man.
He just don't throw the ball downfield. CeeDee Lamb.
For who? Who you gonna get Dak Prescott away for? Who?
Be real with you. Aaron Rodgers really don't want to be in Green Bay.
He got man for that contract. I would be in Green Bay.
But look though, we paying for. But what I feel like, you know how they always say running backs are disposable and stuff like that. I feel like the quarterback position is a little bit more disposable in today's game. Because I'm gonna be real with you. Hold on. Because you gotta look at quarterbacks like Joe Burrow. You gotta look at what other teams are doing. We need a dynamic quarterback to win. CeeDee Lamb is going to be the best receiver, if not top 3 receiver next year in this game. Watch, I promise you. CeeDee Lamb is going to. He was a good.
Would that be because of Dak Prescott, or is just because of CeeDee Lamb?
No, because last year
because of Cooper Rush, or what's your angle with this? Because you got to understand that Joe Burrows don't grow on trees. Joe Burrow, the Cincinnati had to, like I said before, they had to suck to get to Joe Burrows. Now, you seeing what they doing. If you follow the trend, you see what the Jacksonville Jaguars are doing now for Trevor Law. They making sure they putting weapons around here. And I don't believe that they're going to stop at Christian Kirk and also Evan Ingrams. They're going to make sure they go into this draft to draft another wide receiver for the Jaguars. Yeah. And don't forget about Laviska Shenault. He's no one to sneeze at. But you got to put weapons around these young guns. But quarterbacks don't grow on trees, man.
But I feel like we have one of the top. I feel like we got a top, if not the best receiving core in the league. I really do.
Get rid of the quarterback. So who do you want? Who do you want as a quarterback right now? In order to make the team better.
I would go after. I would honestly go after Aaron Rodgers, or I would try to get Deshaun Watson.
Look, man, bro.
Deshaun Watson.
Watson.
Deshaun Watson would make this Cowboys a brand new team, man.
And why would the Texans get rid of him now?
He doesn't want to be there. And his team, the Texans they're gonna get rid of him, man. The Texans would trade Dak Prescott for Deshaun Watson any day. Go ahead.
And you think that will be free? You think that there won't be multiple first-round draft picks?
No, I don't think. But listen, though.
Contract.
But I feel like listen, the Cowboys is probably the best drafting team in the league.
Put it like this. Before you go to your next point, and I got to bring in some more callers.
Yeah.
Did you know the Texans in the year 2020 had a healthy Deshaun Watson for the whole entire year? And he still finished that season 4-12. It wasn't him hurt. And that was a healthy Deshaun Watson.
He didn't want to be there, though. He didn't want to be there.
So he didn't want to be there. So he all of a sudden he played better because he wanted to be in Dallas.
I feel like so. I feel like maybe, and I feel like he also has some off the field problems that was riding him all the year that year too. I feel like at this point we had a win now mode.
Hold it. You think that off the field problems, although they kind of hit it a little bit, right? You think that they're going to be able to hide it over here in Dallas, and he's going to be able to be focused, lasered in with this vanilla playbook? No, man. I like
think so,
Deshaun
bro.
Watson. I like Deshaun Watson, but not at that cost. No way, man. But I appreciate you, man. What other points you have before I let you go?
Man, another thing is I think we're gonna go and sign Bobby Wagner. And I think in the draft, I think don't be surprised if we try to get another Diggs to help out Diggs in the backfield and try to run. And then I believe when you do that, and our defensive line is so good, you could bring the safeties in and sack the quarterback because you got two shutdown. We need another shutdown corner like Diggs.
Well, we hope Boss Man Fat can live up to his reputation, man. But appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you, man.
That's a good call from him. But, man, look, he had some good points, and he had some off-the-wall points, man. That's my dude, man. It's getting close. I got 9 more minutes before I end the show. I got to be somewhere at the top of the hour. But I'm going to tell you guys right now, I like Deshaun Watson. Yes, and I seen people put in the chat, he's innocent. So was my guy Ezekiel. Elijah Elliott, never been arrested, by the way, and he still served a 6-game suspension. And I'm not saying that Deshaun Watson deserved to get what he got going on over there. But, man, and Texans, for the Texans down there, you can get away with more. But in Dallas, you got to handle and walk a certain way. And the Cowboys nation, even though that some may look at Dak Prescott as what's on the bottom of their feet, but there are also this fan base that look at Dak Prescott as if he can't do no wrong. So you'll have another divided fan base. And then on top of that, Watson is still a quarterback with errors and flaws. All right, so let's pull in my guy Sharp, man. You got 2 minutes, man. A little less than 2 minutes. What's good? Talk to me, man.
Hey, man, I'm sorry. I don't know whether it was the connection or what was it, the light.
I feel you, man. What you got?
No, I just letting you know, dude. Hey, like I told you before we got cut off, that wide receiver's coming either in the first or the second round. You know?
Right.
Like I told you, that's my choices. But I am down for the Bobby Wagner, and I want Randy Gregory re-signed. I think that'll help this defense a lot. Especially you got Trayvon Diggs and Micah Parsons and Boss Man Fat. Shoot. We had a decent linebacker in the third. Dude, we got Jabril Cox too. Dude, come on now.
No doubt.
Come
man.
on now.
Appreciate you, Sal.
Love you, Law.
Much love to you, man, as well. Aaron, man, talk to me, man.
Hey, what's up, man? Appreciate you having me on. Quick question. Would you keep Anthony Brown or would you trade him and try to draft another cornerback?
Say that once again. Will we keep who?
Anthony Brown, AB.
Oh, okay. If you cut him now, you save $5 million before, I believe, the start of the new season. If you keep him, you just got a $5 million deal that you have to pay him. Right now, I'm not finna get rid of depth. He is a solid backup cornerback at this point, and one can argue that he's a solid starting cornerback. But at this point, I'm not trying to find ways to cut him. I want him on his team for depth purposes.
Would you do the same thing for Jordan Lewis, or would you find another person for the slot?
Jordan Lewis had his best season last season with 3 interceptions, 2 forced fumbles. I'm trying to keep Jordan Lewis on this team as for the same reason I'm trying to keep Anthony Brown. But I'm not finna make it comfortable for him. I'm gonna let him know that whatever and whoever we bring in is gonna be pure and raw competition, and you're not gonna live off of the name that you've been here longer than the other players. It's gonna be rocky, and it's gonna be pure competition.
Gotcha. Now, another one for the coaching staff offense. Do you think will our philosophy still be a run base, or will we still try to pass over the field like we did last season?
And the Tiger got stripes, man. Kellen Moore, he is a pass-based person, you know. So he was a quarterback that's been turned into an offensive coordinator I think that this team would still be a pass first team, unfortunately.
Okay.
But I
All right,
appreciate
well,
you,
man.
man. What
Yeah,
else? What else
that's
you
all I
got, man?
got.
What else you got, man? Appreciate you, Eric.
Okay. Oh yeah,
That's a good
appreciate
call.
you, man.
It's a good call from him. Swayze, what's good, man?
Hey, what's going on? I'm just getting the news. So what's the contract? Was it like a restructure, or is he just now getting it's like a whole new contract? Like what's the deal with the DeMarcus Lawrence situation?
They restructured so they can put some of it off of the cap. So instead of $27 million on the cap, it's 14, and it's a 3-year, $30
Oh
million
my
guarantee.
God, that is
Yeah.
amazing. So now we could try to keep Randy Gregory and try to lower Bobby Wagner over there. I see what this front office is doing. They try to make this a purely a defensive team, try to run the ball, try to keep Dak Prescott attempts to 20-25 passing attempts a game. We try and restructure this whole situation. This is purely a Stephen Jones and Will McClay thing. I think Jerry Jones has a lot of other things on his mind. I don't even think Jerry Jones is even paying attention to football operations right now. I think this is all Stephen Jones and not seriously. This is all Stephen Jones and Will McClay doing right now. And I think it's purely. I think this might be really Will McClay type moves. To be honest with you, I think they let him handle the situation while the Jones family handling more family stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like their administrator died. They longtime administrative person just died. Praise to her. So they're handling more things. So if we get Bobby Wagner and we keep Randy Gregory, I'm not gonna lie. I would trade our current first round pick, a second round pick to move up in the draft to get that DT, to shore up that interior line. Yep, the shore up that interior line. That's all we need right now. Seriously, like that's literally all we need. And to be honest with you, yeah, like we gonna be like we're like I love these off-season moves. This is smart off-season moves. This is not overpaying. This is not the Dallas Cowboys from 2007, 2008. We overpaying everybody. We fall in love with the names. Like these are smart decisions. Like these decisions remind me when we got rid of, like, remember when we got rid of Herschel Walker? We traded Herschel Walker away. I wasn't alive, but my dad said when we traded Herschel Walker away, the whole fan base like, what is he doing? He don't know what he's doing.
Big
my God, like what's going on? They doing the same thing with Amari Cooper. They doing the same thing, restructuring everybody's contract. They're making smart front office football decisions. Like seriously,
we will see how this panned out, Swayze. And you recall they did bring Herschel Walker back. So
yeah, for a cup of coffee.
Yeah, for a cup of coffee. So what I want the Cowboys to do is, with this extra money, is that they can actually go along with it. If Bobby Wagner don't fold to what they're asking for him, like far as a money base or any of these seasonal veteran guys, then don't panic. Go ahead and go into the draft knowing that you got a lot of money on the back end and knowing that teams are going to get rid of some of their veteran guys and everything. All of the price would be cheaper.
But doesn't that in Texas, like I don't live in Texas, but it's no state income tax. Do you think that might help in terms of Bobby Wagner taking a lesser deal, might take 10 flat instead of the 13, 14, 15 million from other teams? You think that might help like over time?
And they got this thing, property taxes and ISD, independence. And look, Uncle Sam, I asked my tax preparer, can I claim Uncle Sam? You know, because I'm taking good care of him all year. And, you know, you're going to find a way to still pay. That's how taxes are.
With Cedrick Wilson, he ended up leaving too. Where you go to the Dolphins, right?
Dolphins for a 3-year deal for $22 million, 12 of it being guaranteed.
And to be honest, that might be a blessing in disguise. Like these wide receivers, man, they running 4.2s, they running 4.3s. If we get like a fasty, quick third string wide receiver in the third, fourth round around that time, like I think that might, you know what I'm saying? Like that might make our offense a little bit more versatile rather than like 3 wide receivers that can do the exact same thing. You kind of get what I'm saying? Like,
well, the whole philosophy, less is more. We'll find out, man. But Swayze, I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too. All right.
Good call from him, man. Good voice on the phone too, man. King James version, man. What's good, man?
Man, what's good, Law, man? Good to see you, bro. Hey, keep up the good work, man. I've been loving it, man. One thing I gotta say, man, about getting rid of Dak Prescott, man, that is not an option. But one thing I can't agree with, I mean, Dez has his you know, his rants and his it spoiled ways. But one thing I can't agree with is that if Dak get, more knowledge of defenses and things of that nature, and if we use a lot more motion in our offense, man, to help him identify at least man-to-man coverage and things like that, that would be a lot better at what he does. Now, he's young. He's already one of the elite quarterbacks in the league.
Right.
Just a little more touch-up, man, he's going to be awesome, man. So getting rid of Dak is not an option, man. And I really hope this Bobby Wagner deal go through, because I'm looking at it now, like if we can get, like you said, get Randall Gregory back signed and get Bobby Wagner, man, we're going to look like the team of the 90s again, bro. And I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you having me up, bro.
Anytime, fam. Good conversation there. Just a quick retouch on what he said about Dak reading the defense better. There are pre-snap reads, but we just don't know the flow of how this particular team like for him to go through his progressions, especially since there's no clear identifier of a number one receiver. Everybody's created equal in this particular offense. On top of that, we don't scheme. So it's a set and a collective of plays. One play don't match up with the other. So when there's quarters defense, we do know that the Cowboys should, that's the operative word, run or try to at least establish their physicality, but they don't do that a lot. And that's been the problem and issue. Dak Prescott dropping back. He see that there's multiple people dropping back in coverage. He takes the underneath. And Dak Prescott, unfortunately, is not the guy that will force anything. Rodgers lost the first round and lost in his first round in 12 years since this last Super Bowl. Nice try. Appreciate you. You're right, man. I got two more people, and we're going to get up out of here, man. Thank y'all, man, for jumping in. Hey, Walter, what's good, man?
How you doing, man?
Man, everything all is well, man. Talk to me, man.
God bless you. First of all, man, I saw that the guy that was talking about Dak was getting a lot of heat. But man, right. I have three sons,
right?
And I've been saying for a while that Dak is really who's hurting our team.
Okay. To elaborate,
because to me he don't throw the deep ball well.
Okay.
And there's plenty of time where he can run and he holds the ball long. He gets outside of the pocket sometimes, and he'll take a sack. And it's a whole lot of other little things. But I've been saying for a while, and like my man said, a guy like Watson. I heard what you said about Watson the year that they won 4 games. But I guarantee you put Dak on that same team, they wouldn't have won 4.
So let me ask you this. So you putting out a lot of anecdotal type of content out there or context out there about what will happen if this and if that. One thing I do know for sure, the wide receiver that played, look, he had Cooks. He also had the guy that played for the Cowboys over here by the name of, I forgot his name, is at the tip of my tongue. He was the slot guy. He came from Green Bay.
But
remember I said he came over here. He had his best career. He had his best career, revitalized him. He went over there to Deshaun Watson. He disappeared. It's quite strange to me when Deshaun Watson. Go ahead.
You got to look at
Cobb. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to look at it. Houston didn't have an offensive line either. We had the offensive line. We had the running back. We had
who was our offensive line?
Huh?
What are you saying? So you mean to tell me that Deshaun Watson? Hold on. You mean to tell me that Deshaun Watson get a pass for being 4-12 that year, or what have you? And if Dak Prescott?
No. What I'm saying is that year, and I watched some of their games. Their offensive line wasn't as good as our offensive line. And he had to do a lot of scrambling and running and all kind of stuff.
Excuse me. So Flemings was all world over here when we had Flemings, when we had the boy Chad Green and all of those boys. So you mean to tell me there was a juggernaut of an offensive line here?
No. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying, our offensive line had always give or take, but we had a few injuries and you had to put somebody in those places.
When the last time our offensive line was healthy?
When the last time it was healthy?
Yeah.
Fully healthy.
You fail to realize in 2018, we picked up a dude named Joe Looney to be our center.
And he played good too. He played real good.
So is that Dak Prescott fault or his fault? Because he played good. So we supposed to give him credits and kudos because he played good. And if he were to play in Texans, they would have said, "Oh man, they had Joe Looney. That's the reason why they played bad." Do you know how they go? Oh man, they had Joe Looney. But since he played for the Cowboys, hey, that boy played good. That boy, you know, that's not a credit to the Cowboys. That's a credit to that.
But you know for yourself, we've always really had a pretty decent offensive line, except maybe about the last year or two with Battis and the wins. Maybe about the last 2 years that our offensive line really wasn't that good. And then not only that, you got that like a guy was saying also about the, you know, a lot of people talking about Zeke. He's not running the ball well. No, and I look at all Dallas guys, record him, I look at him again. The thing is like the guy was saying, tight end block it. A tight end got to be able to block, not only catch the ball, but block. And my man, they paying him this money, but he's not a blocker at all, period.
Who's that?
He's not a good run blocker, Dalton Schultz.
But if he played for the Texans, he would be good, right?
Who?
If Schultz played for the Texans hold on, I'm just trying to use your analogy. So if Schultz went to go to play for the Texans, he would be world. He'd be good.
No. Nah, I was off there. I was saying also they were talking about the Zeke thing, about Zeke. You know, people talking about Zeke. He's washed up and, you know, and all kind of stuff about Zeke. And I don't see nothing wrong with Zeke. I don't see nothing wrong because our offensive line is still pretty decent. And once you know that Dallas gonna run the ball, everybody load the block.
Let me ask you this though.
Yes, sir.
So our Dallas Cowboys offensive line is decent, and it's not bad.
Yeah, it's decent.
It's decent.
It's decent. It's been decent the last
but it's not
2 years.
Hold on. But it's not decent enough. It's not decent enough for Dak. It's decent enough for Dak Prescott, but it's not decent enough for Ezekiel Elliott.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying run block. You know, there's a difference between pass blocking and run blocking. There's a difference.
Right.
Isn't that right?
Most offensive linemen love the run block.
That's right. And run blocking, most of the time when teams think that you're gonna run, they're gonna pack the block. They're gonna put all those guys down there on the line. And my thing is, a lot of times Zeke couldn't even get out the backfield because of the blocking. Not only on the line, but because the tight end blocking. And a lot of times Zeke would get stopped in the backfield. Even though all that, this guy still ended up with 1,000 yards. And also, man, I was one that kept typing that DK Metcalf.
Right.
I was one that kept typing that because, you know, I look at our receivers, and we have never really had a speed receiver. And you know, when we missed out on Randy Moss, and it seems like Jerry had been looking for one ever since. And I looked at when he was being interviewed, been about a few weeks ago, that DK was being interviewed, and he was talking about he was hot about what's going on with Wagner and with Russell Wilson. And I was just saying, man, maybe we could talk to them and see if they want to trade him and what it'll take to get him. If we picked number 24, am I right?
We picking at 24. Yep.
And if we get down to 24 and they don't have what we really want, an offensive lineman or a defensive tackle, and you go on receiver, I'll check in on, you know, with Seattle about DK and give up that pick. And if they ask for something else to get DJ, can you imagine our offense with DK too?
Yeah, but we like the Tristan Hill. We drafted Tristan Hill over DK Metcalf. I appreciate you, Walt. Thank you for calling in, man.
All right.
Man, everybody love every quarterback but their own. At this point, Dak Prescott is the worst quarterback known in Cowboys history. In any quarterback, like they said, that will play for the Cowboys would do better than Dak Prescott. But unfortunately, that's not the case nor the situation. I've literally heard people say Ben DiNucci will be better than Dak Prescott. Then when they saw Ben DiNucci play, he wasn't better than Dak Prescott. I've seen people say Andy Dalton, if you give him a chance with all of these weapons, he will be better than Dak Prescott. We have yet to see that. Now, Cooper Rush, he played the one game in Minnesota, which was cool. Caught Minnesota by surprise. We won that game. I'm not going to take that away from good old Cooper Rush. But Cooper Rush was that same said quarterback that got beat out by all of those quarterbacks in Giants land. And y'all expecting Cooper Rush to be better than Dak Prescott. Now, far as the Deshaun Watson, he had Will Fuller, he had Brandon Cooks, he had Randall Cobb. He had weapons, and all of a sudden, those weapons were not weapons for him, but they would have been weapons for the Cowboys. I'm quite sure if we had Will Fuller, if we had Brandon Cooks, if we had Randall Cobb, they would have been saying still, hey, there should be no excuses for Dak Prescott. But he get the excuses for being 4-12. Healthy, by the way. I digress. Ken Art, appreciate you. So let me get this straight. When the Cowboys run 50-50. We're undefeated, but Schultz doesn't block, ? And that's the musical chairs that people have. Here's the thing with Dalton Schultz, and the craziest thing of it all, and I appreciate you, Ken Art. Dalton Schultz first came here as a blocking tight end. For his first 2 years, no one blocked better than Schultz. Schultz immediately, under this new system, Mike McCarthy, became better as a receiving style of tight end. His blocking responsibilities diminished. One thing I tell people all the time, if it's anything about Mike McCarthy, he will coach and he will get the tight ends somehow show up. That's Mike McCarthy. Everywhere he been, he had good tight ends. Matter of fact, in college, Mike McCarthy played tight end. So I think that Mike McCarthy played a good and wonderful role in Dalton Schultz's development. Now, people will say that Dalton Schultz didn't block as good as he's supposed to do. Well, his block win rate is the equivalent and the same as George Kittle for the San Francisco 49ers. But the thing is, I look at Schultz, and if I look at this particular team being better and 12 personnel, not 11. Why? Because you are asking Schultz to do something different than what he's been doing here since his 4 years here. I digress. Appreciate you, Mark. Dak is not the worst. He's a solid, just overhyped. Any quarterback for the Cowboys will be overhyped, by the way. Right? And the little lies that people say, the black Kirk Cousins, that's actually a compliment. If Kirk Cousins was to be picked up and moved from the Minnesota Vikings and placed on that LA team that just won the Super Bowl, he would have him a Super Bowl ring. There's nothing beyond the difference between Kirk Cousins and Matthew Stafford. It's just the talent and the level of coaching on said team. That's all I'm saying. If you pick Dak Prescott and you put him in a different system, then who knows what he will be. But we would never know because we in the Kellen Moore system now. All right, Cowboy Nation, I appreciate you guys so much for tuning in and being part of this thing. Big, you had jumped out of it, and I hope all is well with you. I thank those who donated. I thank those who shared this content. Let's continue to grind and shine. For those who are just tuning in to the end of this, DeMarcus Lawrence signed a 3-year extension to his contract. 30 million of that money is guaranteed. This also helps out on the salary cap. It brings it down from his expenditures from 27 million down to 14 million. And now that's a savings and a half, and it will help this team out in the long run. They got 2 things they can look at it as it relates to this deal. One being that this deal can help out in this way. You can go and get the player that you want out of this free agent now. 2 being you don't have to squeeze and cut another player on this team to get said player. Now, the third thing, you might want to wait until the draft, because after the draft, that's when you can go get some more guys. And we did that last season. We got KZ, Neal, I believe, as well as Hooker after the draft. They were guys that were acquired after the draft. So let's see. And I think J-Ron Curse, he was the guy that they was talking to right before it. So let's see what this team would do. Cowboy Nation, let's continue to grind and shine. Shout out to you, Jim Laws. Appreciate you. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. Let's get on up out of here. Appreciate y'all. One love, baby. Let's go.